on your mat. Drop your forehead down to the floor and arrive here. If you were a lazy river, what would it feel like? How would you be moving? Swaying your body gently, perhaps. Or maybe just feeling the filling and emptying of your breath as you arrive here on your mat. Letting go of that which has come before this and coming into the present moment. If you were floating on an inner tube on that river, you'd be right where you are, right? There's all kinds of movement happening and you are just right there. You are in the movement and you are relaxed and just enjoying the ride. So go ahead and find that sense experience as you arrive here. Taking some breaths. Tapping in to what you've arrived with in your body, in your mind. Just noticing, letting it be. Know that we will be moving. Keep that sway going. Let your shoulders roll side to side and let your forehead roll along the mat from one side to the other. Letting out some good sighs along the way. Let's walk the hands over to the left side of the mat and stretch out the right bank of your river. Left hand can come on top of right. Create a sense of awareness from the fingertips all the way back through the arm bones, through the shoulder girdle, through the rib spaces, through the waistline and the outer hip. And maybe let that bank of river be even a bit fluid. Take a breath in. Sigh it out. Walk on over to the other side and stretch out the left bank of your river. Maybe taking a moment to reflect upon, do you live more on the bank of chaos or more on the bank of rigidity? And just notice what feels alive in you today. Taking some breaths into that whole left side. Big breath in. Deep sigh out. Come on back to center. Let's just take a moment to come to all fours and just release the legs. Just walk out one leg and the next, coming on the ball of one foot and the other, straightening each leg. Just releasing the bend of the knees, the creases of the hips. Just for a moment. And then we're going to come into a rabbit pose. So come on the balls of the feet and bring the knees wide and bring the head, the top of the head down to the mat and towards the mat. And draw your hands along the back of the neck and just smooth the back of the neck as your head, hopefully, as your hips rise, your head comes down to the ground. And you can roll past the crown of your head toward the back of your head, tucking your chin in very deeply. The hands might be as guides to spread open the back, neck, the back of the skull. It might feel really nice to have your hands there. You could also reach your arms through your inner thighs and walk your fingertips down toward your toes and really open up the space between your shoulders and your neck. A big pull there on the back of the upper back. Tucking the chin, maybe rolling even further. Take another breath or two. And gently release, come on up to all fours. And we'll take some cats and cows to release that neck in the other direction. Inhaling chin and eyes and chest, lifting the tailbone, arching the back. And exhale, rounding it out, squeezing the belly in, tucking the tail. And just move between those two places for yourself. Inhaling, opening, maybe the jaw drops open, the tongue might stick out. Exhale, rounding. Moving at your own pace. It might be faster than what I'm describing. See how your river is flowing. Maybe it's fast or slow. And just move with a few more cats and cows just to open up the spine. Get out the early kinks. Couple more rounds in and out. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Come on back to neutral. Draw the knees together. Inhale. Exhale, gaze past the right shoulder toward the right ankle. Let the left hip jut out. Inhale, center. And exhale, off to the other side. C shape to the spine, opening up the sides of your body, the banks of your river. Inhale, center, and exhale, off to each side, using your gaze so that your neck also moves with this. Your eyes move. Your whole spine is kind of opening its side bodies. A few more rounds, working with your breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, gaze to one side or the other. Let the opposite hip drop. One more, inhale. Last one, exhale. Come on back through center. Curl the toes back under and have a seat back on your heels for toes pose. And if this pose is not easy for you, you can come in and out of it. Stay as long as you can. And let's just come into some nice neck circles. So just let the head flow and move. Maybe you can't quite do all the way around. If not, just stay with a semicircle. Pause in the places that feel like they need a little extra moment. Circle in the opposite direction if you haven't already. If you're still in toes pose, that's great. If you're not, it's okay too. And then bring the right hand to the left ear and open up the left side of the neck, and just take a nice circle out for that left shoulder and elbow and wrist as well. Just kind of flow with the arm. Really nice kind of theme of fluidness, like a river. And reach that arm out away from you and drop the right ear even deeper toward the right shoulder. Open up the wrist and the fingers, take another breath. And then draw the back of the left hand to the back of the heart. Bring the head back up to neutral, and perhaps clasping fingers, right elbow high, left elbow low. I'm coming out of my toes pose for a moment. You might use a strap or a towel to take this. Draw your belly in, find the length of your spine. Open through the shoulders a little bit here. And just gently release and let your arms, both arms flow. I'm coming back into my toes pose. Left ear toward left shoulder, left hand to right ear. Open up the right side of your neck and circle out the right shoulder. You might feel a nice pull or tug. Let that be good for you. And let your elbow flow and your wrist and your fingers. Let your breath flow as well. And find a reach out with that right arm and just kind of play with the wrist and the fingers. Take another breath or two. Back of right hand comes to back of heart. And maybe left fingers and right fingers clasp. You might need a prop, a strap or a towel or a t-shirt. Left elbow is high, right elbow is low. Take another couple of breaths here. Let your head be easy and loose. And let's release and just dance it out through the shoulders, through the arms, through the head, through the spine even a little bit. And let's find our way to all fours and tap the tops of the feet on the mat. Toes pose if you stay the whole time, bravo. Let's rise our way up into downward facing dog and give your head a nice nod yes. That might mean walking your arms a little wider to give some space for that nod yes. And notice what you're saying yes to in your practice today and your life these days. And shake it out no. And notice what you might be saying no to these days on your mat, in your life, in your practice, or just right now. Let's come forward to high plank, inhale, and press back to downward dog, exhale. We'll take a few of those. Inhale, come on forward. Exhale, press on back. Inhale forward, belly is strong, legs are long. Exhale, hips high, head drops, downward dog. 2 more rounds. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Last one, bring it on forward. Press it on back. Walk your feet together. Lift your 10 toes and lift the thighs and pull your hips high as the palms press forward. Draw your shoulders away from the earth and up your back. Reach your right leg high and circle out your right ankle. And circle it in both directions. And stack the right hip over the left and bend the knee and roll your hip open. And just take a moment to stretch, pressing your right foot towards your left shoulder, pulling back through your outer left hip, breathing into that right hip crease, thigh, and then taking it into a nice circle, circling out the right knee, drawing a big, colorful circle on the wall opposite you, circle in both directions. And if there's a place that feels a little clunky or chunky, pause and just work it out a little bit. Reach that right leg high, big breath in. And exhale, let's take an early pigeon pose, right foot steps to left wrist. Sink your hips down. We're not gonna stay long. Just see what's here for you. Maybe a little bounce feels good or a little shimmy through the river of your spine. Take a breath, inhale. And exhale, three-legged dog, pull it on back, reach the right leg high, inhale. Exhale, step your right foot forward. This time, sink down on that left knee, hands to your front thigh, and dip your hips on down. Interlace your hands behind you, dipping your hips, lifting your heart, dropping your shoulders, and maybe the gaze lifts, or maybe it's straight ahead, or maybe it's down. You choose your gaze. Reach your arms away from your back. Take a big breath here, inhale. And exhale, hands come in front of your right foot. Let's fly into a standing split. Left leg flows to the sky, head bows heavy. Nice big stretch for the back of that right leg as the left leg rises, 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 as the head drops deeper. As your breath deepens up, take a breath in. And let's step the left foot way back, straighten both legs, and bow into a pyramid pose. Now have your blocks handy if you've got blocks. And you might want to flex your right foot and lift the 5 toes off of the floor, coming just on the heel of that right foot. And just take a couple breaths here, pulling your hips back, bowing your head down deep. If lifting your toes doesn't feel good, don't do it. But in any case, spread all 10 toes. 2 more breaths. Bow your head a little deeper. Pull your hips a little higher. 1 more breath. And let's step back strong, high plank. Pausing there. Finding the rhythm of your breath. Hearing the sound of your breath if you haven't yet. Welcome yourself to a deep breath in. And a smooth breath out. You might feel a little shaking and quaking, the strength of this pose. It's a powerful pose, but really a layer on top, the soothing of the breath, of the powerful breath. 2 more breaths. Draw your tailbone back between your heels, lengthen your heels back, crown of head forward. 1 more breath, inhale. And exhale all the way down to your belly. Rise your way up. We'll take a couple of cobras. So inhale, lift. Stretch through the front line of your body. Straighten your arms as much as you can. Exhale, come on back down. Bring the hands a little wider on claw fingers. Inhale, lift high, lift the heart. Stretch through the front body. Lengthen through your legs and feet. Exhale, come on down. 2 more. Come on, narrow again. Elbows in close. Rise up. Straighten the arms a little or a lot. Exhale down. Last one. Claw fingers wide. Inhale. Elbows are still drawing back. Chest is forward. Legs are long. Last breath in. Exhale. Come on down. Find your way back, your way to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a sigh out. Nod your head yes and shake it out no. Again, notice what you're saying yes and no to. Lift your left leg high and circle out that left ankle. Circling in both directions. Bend the knee, roll open, and just pause here. Pull back through the outer right hip. Drop through the left armpit, spread through the belly and the front of your left hip, and then circle out that left knee. And just find the smoothest circle you can in each direction. circling in each direction a few times, pausing in any places that feel like they need a little extra love. Launch your left leg high, big breath in. And early pigeon pose, left foot steps to right wrist, dip your hips deep, lift your heart. Just take a moment or two, move your spine. You might gaze past one shoulder and then the other to loosen up that neck, the jaw. Last breath in. And rise it back up, three-legged dog. Lift the left leg high, big breath in. Exhale, step your left foot forward, dip down on your right knee, dip your hips low. Interlace your fingers up above, straightening your arms up to the sky, shoulders drop. If you like, turn your palms up to the sky, drop your shoulders, lift your heart, open the front of that right thigh, hip. Take a breath, feel the fullness of your moment. And let's fly, standing split, right leg flows to the sky, head bows heavy. Maybe you use blocks here, maybe you challenge your balance here. Whatever you're doing, see if you can get your head out of it and your leg, your right leg, even higher. One more breath, feel the fullness. Come into the deepest expression of the pose for you. Step back strong to a pyramid pose. Back leg, front leg are both straight. If it feels good, lift the 5 toes of the left foot. And go ahead and bow over the front thigh. Now, if you want to deepen it, you can challenge your balance. You can lift your hands off the mat. You could interlace your hands back behind you, bowing your head, or just stay with the hands on blocks or on the ground. 2 more breaths. Bowing your head, pulling your hips higher, really enlivening the legs and spreading the 10 toes. Last breath in. And exhale, we'll step back strong, high plank. And pause. And just feel into your length and your strength. Into your strong Ujjayi breath. The strength and the softness of the breath. The strength of this core. Take another breath in. And hover, low push-up, elbows in very close. Inhale your version of back bend. Maybe thighs are down, maybe thighs are up. If in either case, really engage through the thighs, open the collarbones, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, pull back, downward facing dog, breath in, sigh it out. Press your palms forward, draw your shoulders away from one another, and way up the back. Last breath in. Bend your knees, spring step or float to the front. Lift and lengthen, flat back reach. Exhale, bow it all on out. Take opposite hand to opposite elbow. And just let that river of your spine really release and open and get some breath in the spaces between the hard bones. In the spaces between the rigidity, find a little integration, a little smoothness, a little more breath and space. Let your jaw soften in that way. And when you're ready, draw your hands to your head or hair and just give a nice massage or tug or pull, really exploring the parts of your head and your neck and your shoulders with your fingertips, with your palms, touching, healing, letting go, or like reminding and energizing. Maybe like this area has been numb to you and you haven't felt it until now. So notice what you touch. And that the touch brings attention. We'll just take a couple more breaths, attending to areas that don't often get the touch or the attention. Release your hands to the floor, toe heel your feet together, bend your knees and roll your way gently up to standing. Pause with your arms out wide, turn your pinkies up, your thumbs down. Stand strong on the 4 corners of each foot. And really lift your heart as the pinkies rise and drop your shoulder blades as the thumbs drop. Lift your belly as the heart lifts and those fingertips lift. Drop and lengthen their low back, tailbone, heels. Turn your fingertips down toward the floor and open the inner wrists. Still the heart is rising. And exhale other way, fingertips drop, backs of wrists open. Give your fingers a little wiggle. And then go ahead and find the dance. That dance of integration, that dance of fluidity. And I'll add in the dance of joy, of fun, of play. Really, really critical. And let's go ahead and float the arms high. Inhale, pausing. Heels drop, thighs lift, belly lifts, heart lifts. Fingertips lift and walk along the ceiling. Shoulder blades drop, tailbone drops. Make a little prayer out the heart. Inhale. Exhale, draw the hands right into the heart center. Bring that prayer central to you, central to your body, central to your breath. Inhale, flow the arms high. Exhale, swan dive forward and down, letting it go. Head drops. Inhale, fluid, long spine, flat back, belly strong. Exhale, go ahead, step or jump at high plank. Chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog, thighs strong, maybe lifting. Exhale, down dog, pull it on back. Inhale, right leg to the sky. And step the right foot forward. Rise it on up, big breath in. Exhale, flow it on down and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Flow it on forward. Rise on up, warrior one. Big breath in. Come on back down. We'll just take that a couple more rounds. Step back, down dog. Right leg lifts. Right foot steps forward. Flow on up. Inhale, finding your breath. And exhale, release, step back, down dog. Left leg flows. Stepping forward, warrior one. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, release, back, down dog. Last round of two. Reaching up, right leg, right foot steps. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, release. Step it back easy, down dog. Left leg flows, breath in. Exhale, we step and rise. Breath in, warrior one. Exhale, let it go. Step back, down dog. Take a breath in. Take a big breath out. Bend your knees, look forward. Spring stepper, float to the front. Reach out long, flat back. Exhale, fold and bow. Shake out your head. Rise on up, maybe the knees bend. Walk your fingertips along the ceiling, inhale. Exhale, draw the prayer to your heart, right through the center. Take a breath, in and out. Rise it up, inhale. Fold it forward and down, exhale. Lift and lengthen, flat back. Exhale, step or jump, high plank. Chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog, thighs strong. Exhale, down dog, pull it back. Right leg flows to the sky, bend the knee and roll that hip open. We're gonna flip it out. Right foot steps down. Right arm reaches high, head drops back. Hips lift, belly lifts, chest lifts. Make a big circle with that right arm, all the way around your body. Maybe bring it into a half bind behind your back. Let the heart float high. Hips lift, belly lifts. Stamp through those feet. Flip on back, three-legged dog. Reach the right leg high, inhale. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Spin your left foot flat. Rise on up, warrior one. Flow it wide, warrior two. Give a little dance out to those shoulders in your head, your jaw. Turn your palms open and reverse your warrior. Inhale. Exhale, side angle lunge. Elbow to thigh. Left arm reaches over ear and just take a big spread for the left side. Breathe into it for a couple breaths. And spin your belly, spin your ribs, spin your heart to the sky, away from that inner right thigh. Wrapping the left arm around the back for half bind. Turn your heart Reach your right arm forward in this half bind. Take another breath. Return the elbow back to the thigh and open the pose one last time. Inhale and exhale. Find yourself on the ball of your left foot. Right knee is bent. Left hand down and right hand to sacrum. So right knee still bent. If you need to straighten it a little bit, just to ease it out, go ahead. And just turn and spin. Right arm flows to the sky when you're ready. Lifting the heart right through those top fingertips. Last breath. Hands both come to the ground. And again, we're going to straighten into that pyramid pose. Bowing the head, pulling the hips back, maybe lifting the 5 toes of the right foot. Slowing the breath for 2 more. Squeezing on your exhale right into the belly. Let's step back strong, high plank. Pausing and breathing. Feeling the shoulders drop away from the ears, the belly and thighs lifting, the tailbone lengthening back, the heels lengthening back. Crown of head reaching forward, last breath. Exhale, chaturanga, or you can come all the way down. Inhale your version of upward facing dog, lift the heart. Exhale, pull your hips high, take a breath in and a breath out. Left leg launches to the sky, bend the knee, roll your hip open. Flip your dog. Left foot to the floor, right foot to the floor. Left fingertips rise. Maybe the head can drop back and take a big circle around your body with that left arm. Enjoy. Maybe there's a half bind behind your back for that left hand. Lift your heart, lift your hips, lift your thighs, take a breath. Feel the fullness of the moment. Return back to 3-legged dog. Left leg rises, inhale. Exhale, step forward, warrior 1. Rise it on up on an inhale. Spread wide, warrior 2 on your exhale. Take a little dance with your arms. Check that your left knee is opening towards your pinky toe. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Ooh. Side angle lunge, exhale, left elbow to left thigh, right arm reaches over ear. Take a moment to drop the shoulders away from the ears and spread through the whole right side. In your own timing, when it feels like you've made the connection from right fingers to back hip, back heel, right through that hip, wrap your right arm around your back, half bind, and lengthen your left arm forward. Feel into that strength, into that breath. Turning your heart one more time. Oh my goodness. And let's go ahead, keep the left knee bent. Come on the ball of the right foot facing forward. If you need to straighten your left knee a time or two or slightly straighten it, that's okay. Right hand stays down, left hand comes to sacrum. Spin yourself towards your inner left thigh. Turn, turn, turn. Belly, ribs, heart. Fingertips float to the sky, knees draw in toward midline. Fullness of the pose, the heart is really rising. The wingspan is wide open. Feel your river, feel your integration, last breath. And both hands come down, straightening. Both legs, pull your hips back, bow your head down. Lift your 5 toes of your left foot, if that feels good for you. And just take a couple of deep breaths. Squeezing your belly on each exhale. One more breath. And let's step it back strong through vinyasa. Finding your way back to down dog your way. Upward dog, down dog, all on offer. Big breath in and big breath out. Right leg flows to the sky. Let's step right foot to left wrist for another pigeon. And dip those hips and lift that heart. And walk your hands back a little further. Also, if you need any props or supports, Maybe under that outer right hip, offer it up. Can you interlace your hands behind you? Lifting the heart, easing the head around a little bit. And then in your own timing, folding, bowing. But this time turning the back toes under, coming on the ball of that left foot, lifting the left kneecap. And maybe the head rests in the hands or on a block. Pulling back through that left heel, coming on the ball of that left foot, centering the kneecap down toward the mat. Last couple breaths. Rise your way on up and go ahead and walk the right foot over back to the right, turning the right toes out, coming on the knife edge of that right foot, checking for gum under the sole of the right foot. And you're still on the left knee now, and just sway your body side to side. Turn left, turn right. Find that C shape to the spine like we did at the very beginning. And you might notice that your right knee moves a little bit. That's great. Great work for the hips. Turn the right toes back to forward. Left hand stays down. Right hand comes to right outer hip, knee, thigh area, drawing that right knee in, sinking your hips low, and now turning to the right with your whole torso. Bend your left knee and reach back for your left foot with your right hand. And spin your heart open. And sink a little deeper, finding the opening for the front of that left thigh, left hip. Last breath. Let's release. And this time we straighten the legs again, pull the hips back, but stay in your flat back. Left hand stays down, and this time it could be to the inside or the outside of your right foot. Right hand comes to sacrum at the base of the spine, and let that remind your outer right hip to pull back. Legs are straight. Spread the four corners of each foot and spin your torso up to the sun, to the right. Now again, the hand could be to the inside or the outside of the front foot. If you feel like it feels right, float the right arm skyward. Anchor of the pose, left foot, left leg. So really pull back through that left foot, left leg as the heart spins up, up, up for 3. Maybe there's a half bind here for you too. Pull back through that outer right hip. Last breath. Spread through the left toes, foot. And gently, gently release. Flowing through vinyasa or finding your way back to down dog your way. Once you've arrived there, take a big breath in and a nice sigh out. Left leg, flow it on up to the sky. Step your left foot to your right wrist, pigeon pose, and take a moment to land it upright first. If you need any supports, take them. Interlace your hands back behind you if that's doable, possible, enjoyable, in your integration zone, that lazy river, that loving river, that alive river. Last breath, really finding the places where your body says, yes, love me up even more. And then when you're ready, fold, bow, let it go. Curl the back toes under and lift the right kneecap. And just find your way into this, pulling back through the right heel, sinking through the hips and bowing through the head. Maybe with supports, that might feel really nice. Deepening your breath. You could exhale out through the mouth or keep your mouth closed. Couple last breaths. Right knee comes back down. Rise your way up in your timing. And go ahead and gently walk the left foot over to the left, way to the left. Turn the left toes out. Check for gum under the sole of the left foot. Right knee is down. And just sway your torso side to side. Just look left, look right. But look with your whole spine. So you can just move. You're gonna feel the hip release. You're also gonna feel a spinal release and maybe even the neck if you keep your head and neck nice and gentle and easy. Deepening this any way that feels right for you. Go ahead, turn the left toes back, forward, straight front. And left hand comes to left knee. Draw that left knee in. Heart is lifted, spin toward the left. Bend your back knee, your right knee, and reach with your left hand for your back foot. And keep your heart high as you spin. Knees continue to draw in toward midline for 3. Really breathe into the places and spaces that are integrated for you. 2. Last breath. Gently release and we'll straighten both legs once again, finding that pyramid pose, this time keeping the spine long, parallel to the ground. Right hand stays down. It could be to the inside or the outside of the front foot. Left hand comes to sacrum and spin and turn. Turn, lift heart, lengthen spine and legs. Maybe the left arm flows skyward. Enjoy this for you. Maybe you deepen or back off for 3, 2. Is your belly drawing in to help you turn and spin just that little extra mile? Last breath. Let's release. Come on out. Find your way back, high plank. Maybe through vinyasa, maybe straight to down dog. Breath in and big sigh, breath out. Bend your knees, look forward, spring step or float to the front. Reach on out, flat back. Fold it on down, bow it on down. Give your head a nice little tug again. Maybe the knees bend a lot. Come on out to hip width apart with your feet. Take your peace fingers and thumb around your big toes and just pull yourself on in. Shake it out. Drop on down into a squat. Toes turn out, heels turn in. Elbows come to those inner thighs. Hands come to heart. Now, if your heels don't touch down, just use some padding or be at peace with them up. This is a great hip release. And just let your head, notice how your head and your hips kind of connect in a certain kind of way. Of course, through the river of your spine. Let your jaw soften. Right hand, turn your palm to the right, straighten that right arm and let that right tricep swoop your inner right knee open. And then launch your left arm to the sky and twist, spin. You could stay with the open arm stance, or you could work towards a bind, touching fingertips behind you, maybe with a strap or, again, that special t-shirt you've got located close to you. And just choose a gaze. I'm gazing over my right shoulder and knee. Feels great on my left neck. So maybe you find that for yourself. Take another breath in. And release back to center. Let's straighten the legs, turn the toes in, heels out, bow, shake it out. You might even walk your feet even wider. Take hands to big toes and just bow in for another couple breaths. Let those hips perhaps sway a little side to side. Maybe one knee bends than the other. And then we'll go ahead and come back into the squat. So turn your toes out, your heels in. Elbows come to the inner thighs to support an opening for the hips, a drop through the low back and tailbone, and then let it come through the whole spine, right out through the crown of the head. Movement, integration. Left arm straightens, palm turns back behind you. opening that inner left knee. And right arm straightens. Both knees still open. So there's work there. So find the big wingspan of your arms, stay with that, or whatever is available to you. And or you can work towards the bind behind your back with the fingers. Classically, the right hand would take the left wrist, believe it or not. Now, check out that gaze over the left shoulder, left knee, right shoulder dropping. Last breath in. And let it go. And let's just step back to high plank and lower onto our bellies. And just take a moment there to rest. And maybe give yourself a little pat on the back for showing up to your practice today, for being willing to engage and not just, go through the average flow, for bringing attention to places that need attention. Go ahead, speaking of, and find the centers of your kneecaps and really let them be, definitively landed on your mat. Point your toes. Feel all 5 toes on the mat. Bring your forehead down to the floor and reach your arms back in an airplane pose. And just pause there. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears and feel the delight of this moment. You could stay right here. Maybe it's just that delightful. Or you can lift your legs, lift your arms, flying, superwoman, superman, superperson pose. Oh yes, take a breath, lift a little higher. Come on down, exhale. Right arm reaches out at a 90-degree angle to the right. Palm is face down. You're gonna roll onto your right side. And if you need a little pillow, a little something for your head, you could use a block or an actual pillow or a blanket or something. And feel the 5 fingers of the right hand and check that they're all engaged and really firmly on the floor. Left foot comes to the mat. And this is a big stretch for the right pec, the right chest. So spin your heart up to the sky as the shoulders drop. And the left arm might float to the sky or might stay on the ground as a little training wheel. Maybe you can dream of the arms meeting back behind you. Maybe the right foot comes to the ground too. You want to be sure you're in deep comfort for that. Staying with the focus of the right arm and the pec. Last 2 breaths. And gently, gently, gently unwind. Check it out. Just go easy. Maybe a little rocking. A big breath. Left arm reaches out to 90 degrees to the body. Roll onto your left side. And maybe you need a little pillow for your left ear, for your head. And check in with the left arm, the left fingertips. Check in that the whole palm of the left hand and all those fingers are really grounded. The shoulder blade dropping down the back. The right foot comes to the mat. And of course, please care for yourself every step of this way. Like this might be enough, a lot. You might want to come deeper, reaching the right arm up and back behind you. Maybe not, maybe the hand just stays to the mat. Maybe both feet come to the floor. Really spreading through the left pec, the chest, the arm. Last breath. And let's release, come on out. Woo. Find your way just to sitting on your knees for a moment and just circling out those shoulders. Releasing the jaw. We open the chest a lot. So we're going to come into a pigeon pose. So go ahead, a camel pose, Ustrasana. So stand up on your shins and curl the toes under behind you. And draw your hands to your low back right down at the base of your spine, inviting the pelvis to drop in the back and elbows coming close, and chest widens. Notice your head. Notice your breath. This could be just enough. If you want to come deeper, the chest lifts and fountains to the sky. The gaze goes up. That could be a breaking point, a stopping point, a place where you just explore. You want to go deeper, one hand or both can come to the back heels. And really just let your heart explode with openness, with the courage to practice that openness. Last breath. Gently release, come to all fours, and just move it around. Beautiful. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And really feel the openness for the shoulders, rolling the shoulder blades away from one another on the back, lifting the heart, the hips high as the heart draws back towards the thighs. Last breath like this. And we're going to just come on down and bring the right heel in close to the left hip and wrap the left leg around for this Matsyendrasana, for a twist. So the left knee is high, the right heel is close to the left hip. And for right now, both hands are hugging that right knee in, the left knee. And then the right arm wraps around that left knee. And the left thumb comes to the left hip crease and invites that left hip to drop. Drop down toward the floor. And in that space, lengthen, lift your spine. Stay grounded and stay rising. So notice how the hips and the head, the neck are really connected in this pose. Spinning toward the left, turning through your belly, turning through your ribs, turning through your heart. Left hand comes back behind you to open through that left pec. So we just did a bunch of work to open the chest. So this should feel delicious. You can even bend the left elbow a little bit to turn even more. Set your gaze past your left shoulder. Breathing, every exhale takes you deeper. Last couple breaths. Let's unwind and bring your hands down to the right and bow onto your forearms. And just surrender this pose. Just let this be a pose of release, of no longer trying, just letting it all go, letting it all hang out. Maybe shaking the head no, or nodding it yes, or somewhere in the middle, whatever feels good. Last breath. Come on up, come on out. Hands come to the left shin and just take a little rock before we switch sides. So just let that rock open you up. Let it move your whole body. And then place that left heel close to your right pelvis, your right hip. And then bend your right knee and wrap it around. And we're coming to the second side. Just pause in the middle, both hands on that right knee, hugging that right knee in. Eventually the left arm hugs around and the right thumb comes to the right hip crease, dropping that outer right hip down, 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 creating some space for you to spin as the right knee hugs in, the spine twists to the right, whole spine. So every exhale takes you a little deeper into the exploration of all of you making this twist and turn, every little part of you coming into the awareness of this beautiful whole body twist. Right hand comes behind you, gaze goes to the right. let all of this happen from the base of your spine on upward. So really unfurl the pose. Breathing in and out, letting every phase of the breath guide you. Two more breaths, finding more and more integration. And unwind and draw your hands over to the left and bow onto your forearms. Maybe you stay high. Maybe that's better for your body, but just see if you can surrender and release and let go. Rising on up. When you're ready, last pose, we'll take Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet come together. The knees are out wide. Now, if you have very tight hips, place something under those outer hips, outer thighs, and give yourself lots of space. So you might even walk your feet a bit further away from you. Hands come to the shins or the ankles. Feel your pelvis on the ground. And then when you're ready, just fold over, bow. Elbows come to those legs to help there be a deepening of the pose. And just surrender once again. Let your head just drop. And let this be like a little completion for your practice before Shavasana. So really just, finding gratitude for the practice. Maybe breathing in and out what that was for you, what that is for you. Releasing your legs in your own timing. And go ahead lying back on your mat for set up for Shavasana. Now, if there's any last minute pose that your body is wishing for or wanting, now is the moment to take it. We are going to rest when ready in Shavasana, spreading your body out, finding the supports that your body wishes for, maybe under the knees or over the eyes, palms facing upward in again, that open surrender pose. Finding yourself more and more, setting yourself up to sink in, to release, to return to the earth, to let go of movement, to let go of thoughts, to let go of doing or deciding or having to make things happen. And just let the pose happen to you. Just let it unwind you. Imagine yourself on an inner tube in a lazy river, us floating, relaxed, perhaps in a state of joy or play. Surrendering to the moment as it shifts. Every moment is different. Letting go of rigidity and chaos. Coming into integration. tapping into love and the joy of movement. This practice is so wonderful for the breath and for movement, for integration and joy. Taking some deeper breaths. Letting go what you're ready to let go of with an exhale. Breathing in what you're ready to breathe in. Wiggling your fingers and toes and letting your head roll easy, side to side. Letting those movements invite whatever your intention was at the beginning of practice through your body, knowing that you've already begun to manifest that. Go ahead, roll on your side as you're ready and rise up to seated as you are ready. Finding a seat that feels expansive. A seat that feels settling and grounded and not rigid, but fluid. Yet there's structure, there's organization, but it's not like overly rigid and it's not overly chaotic. And bringing the hands to the heart is such a great way to find that sense of the river of integration in the middle. We'll close our practice with a single Om, inhaling. Hands rise to third eye center, lightening the head, lightening your mind, your brain. Bowing, namaste.